like the just for the chance to see her shoot. SMS and Purdue for the right to go to a national championship game. And Wright controls the ball for Purdue, but steps on the sideline. SMS basketball. They preferred to be called SMS after you know the name is Southwest Missouri State, so from here on out it's SMS.
And look for an up-tempo. SMS likes to run a lot of screens for Jackie Stiles.
And Wright will start defensively on her. This is Campbell left alone. Jump shot rolls over the rim.
Christy Curry, the coach for Purdue, said before the game, we cannot just focus on Jackie Stiles. She's going to get her points, but we have to watch for everybody else.
Well, Campbell certainly had a wide-open jump shot there. Turnaround by Cooper. Cooper averages 14.5 points a game. She's done better than that in the NCAA tournament.
Mitchum is the only other player on SMS that scores double figures.
Mitchum rims one out, fight for the rebound, knocked out of bounds by Purdue. In fact, Mitchum came through with her career high 40 points when Stiles was knocked out with a concussion and had her season low 13 points.
Neither one of these teams take a lot of three-point shots.
Hanse forced one up, got it back, kicks it outside. Campbell. Stiles fighting to get free from Wright. Pull-up jumper. She is so good at that. Look at the touch. Hits the front of the rim and just drops through.
She is so good off the dribble. You just don't know when she is going to pull up, and when she does, she creates her own space. It's kind of like that Larry Bird, Kevin McHale space.
She's the nation's leading scorer for the second year in a row for a reason. Wright kicks it off to Douglas. He's got a wonderful touch from outside as well. Turnaround jumper on the lane. Nice touch that time by Hearns. And Shalisha Hearns has her first two.
Cheryl Burnett for SMS is very definite in the shoot-around today as far as denials. Defensively, we've got to play on Purdue, make them not get fast breaks, but defense was really the concern as far as the shoot-around today.
Good defense by Wright the last time on the Stiles shot. Now Wright trying to take Stiles to the baseline, puts it up. A blocking foul called on Stiles. And here's what the teams have done so far through the tournament. SMS averaging better than 80 points a game. Field goal percentage, a big advantage for SMS. And the highest number of points scored in the tournament.
And look at the turnovers as far as 21 because they do all that running up and down the floor. And lots of times when you get that opportunity to run, you're going to turn the ball over.
Wright is a freshman out of Paris Cove, Texas. This is her 6th start of the season. In a big second half against Xavier with 14 points in the tournament. And it is a 5-2 Purdue lead, showing a little full-court pressure. Campbell will bring it up against Camara. Stiles tries a backdoor cut, double teamed out of bounds off of Stiles.
Stiles has had all different defenses thrown at her this year. They've zoned her, they boxed in one, they triangled in two. And nobody has really been able to stop her except Northern Iowa when they put 2 players on her.
Camara, pull-up jumper, just rolled off the front of the rim. And a travel as Hearns goes down with it. No, Hearns got a timeout. So Hearns saves the possession. 17:38 to go first half. Purdue by 3. Every Thursday, it's Thursday.
Which is 30 minutes away from Claflin, and they only have one rental car there. It's very small airport, so every coach shows up in the same white car.
Everybody showed up in the same car. That's hilarious. They couldn't sneak into the neighborhood, could they?
Well, and she had signed a letter to the University of Connecticut, and her dad and her high school coach wanted her to go, but they said, sleep on it. And she spent the night sleeping on it and said, SMS is the place to be.
And she hasn't regretted it, even though one incident she was benched during her sophomore year to play better defense. Hante gets a bucket inside, and she may be crucial to their chances here in the Final Four.
One of the things Purdue worked on was trying to keep the dribble penetration out. SMS is so good at getting inside and dishing the ball off, too.
Right against Stiles. And it's pretty obvious what Purdue would like to do is get Jackie Stiles in foul trouble. Here she is with a runner, the bucket, and the foul. She is so tough to stop.
There wasn't much contact by Camille Cooper, but Stiles is so good getting out on the open floor. She just takes off. She knows that the ball is going to come to her. You see her kick her head back. She's always looking for it. And she comes down on the right side. You don't see her that much come down on the left side. She'll pull the right side.
And she is a brilliant free throw shooter as well. She has 5, and SMS has a 2-point lead. They make the interception. Stiles, fadeaway jump shot. Got it. Stiles has 7, SMS has 9, and they have shoved on Purdue. And as they go for the double team, Mitchum commits a foul.
The officials calling a little tight. Both fouls are little bump fouls. Now, Stiles fouled out of the last game against Washington. She had 3 fouls in Duke and then 4 fouls in the game before.
And it's obvious they need to keep her on the floor. And the fans don't want to see her leave for a second. They're just transfixed when she gets the basketball. Douglas, that's a 5-second call. As she held the ball waiting for somebody to come to her, nobody did. And she just sort of got lost with it.
Cheryl Burnett said that Tara Mitchum is the one player that has to be out on the floor with them, along with Jackie Stiles.
Campbell out of Claremore, Oklahoma, the 5'7" senior point guard. Gives it up to Stiles. Mitchum. Campbell left alone. She goes inside, and that is an offensive foul on Campbell.
The Lady Bears really worked at shoot-around today as far as cutting through the screens and getting enough passes. That time there really wasn't more than 3-4 passes within the offense.
Douglas. SMS gets back on defense. And there's the whistle away from the ball. And a foul inside on Camille Cooper pushing off. That's her second.
And if you look at the Boilermakers, they've got 4 seniors on this team, and they are very young. You've got Cooper, who's a senior, and she's going out of the game with 2 fouls right now. That makes Purdue a smaller team.
That'll get Candy Crawford, number 31, a 6'1" senior out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, into the ball game. Sagging back off of Campbell, and now anything they can to get in front of Stiles. SMS goes the other way, and Mitchum scores.
And that's those screens. What SMS does so well, Mike, they roll off the screen and they look for those tops. Everybody's so concerned about Jackie Stiles. There was a double team that switched off her, which left the player rolling to the basket.
The Lady Bears are on a 9-0 run and have an 11-5 lead. Douglas, very good outside shooter, missed this one. Hearns fights for the rebound, and they'll call Deere for holding left. Purdue trying to bring a 9-0 run, and they do. The first bucket of the night for Candy Crawford, who only averages 3.5 points a game.
Purdue capitalizing on their strength, which is inside, and defensively they'll switch things up.
Hante with the save, and then Hante throws it away. Third turnover against SMS, and here comes Douglas. Likes that pull-up jumper, drains the 3. Check it, they call it a 2, had a toe on the line.
2-time Kodak All-American, the Big Ten Player of the Year, Katie Douglas.
Stiles right now not trying to take anybody off the dribble. Hante, nice bounce pass inside. Good feed from Mitchum.
Purdue switching the defenses. They're going man, they're going zone, and the Lady Bears are so good, their perimeter players, at seeing the inside, because what happens defensively, you're so concerned about Jackie Stiles. This SMS team is so good at stealing the defense on their hips.
Hard to imagine there's a defense they haven't seen. Nice lean-in layup by Sharika Wright. Wright has 3. The lead cuts back to 2.
And the Lady Bears put so much pressure on you because they get the ball up quickly.
Double team on Stiles. They go to the other side. Mitchum hits it. And she, too, had a toe on the line. That is still the worst shot in college basketball. You back up an inch, you get another point.
But talk about coming off a perfect game against Washington. 23 points where she was 7 of 7, 3 of 3 three-point range, and 6 of 6 from free throws.
Purdue starting to get hot. Camara hits a three. Her first bucket of the ball game, 15-14. Styles outside under good defensive pressure from Wright. Really got out in her face. And Purdue with a chance to regain the lead here. Douglas. Got it. Katie Douglas with a three.
For two teams that don't shoot a lot of threes, they're looking for them.
And Purdue shoots only 36% on the season from three-point range, although they have been much better than that in the tournament.
It's a 2-3 zone. They're just sagging off Campbell. Campbell only averages 2 points a game, and she's got to look for her shot if they're going to sag off like that.
Campbell just walked right into the free throw line and hit the 15-footer. We're tied at 17 with 12:47 to go in the first half from St. Louis. Douglas down the lane with the left hand, spun out, and recovered by Mitchell. Taken away by Camara. Great steal to Douglas. Back to Camara. Wonderful ball movement.
Mentioned that Purdue, coming into this tournament 2 years ago, won the national championship, and they've come in here as the underdog. A lot of people have not given them credit for what they've accomplished.
You don't think they've used that as motivation, do you?
Slightly.
Styles, wonderful as she gets in a lane, dumps it off, kick out to Mitchum. Mitchum lost it. That's 5 turnovers by the Lady Bears.
Lady Bears average over 18 turnovers a game.
Douglas way outside to Hearns. Spins in the lane a little off balance. Got it anyway. Nice shot by Hearns. And SMS wants to put a stop to the momentum. Purdue's defense cranking it up here with 11:43 to go in the first half. They have come from behind to take a 21-17 lead in the national semifinals. Back to St. Louis after this.
After a quick timeout, we're ready for the final 15 seconds of the game.
.38 to go, first half. Deere comes right down the court and pulls up for a three. She's a 44% long-range shooter. That cuts the lead to 1. So you can see SMS has a lot more weapons than just Jackie Styles. Reach in, steal by Campbell. Did a great job to protect the ball, but excellent defense trailing from behind by Hearns. Here comes Parks, checks into the game for the first time. Camara.
It wasn't a good shot selection by Camara. Look at a wide open lane for Vicente.
Vicente goes down the lane and is hammered.
Purdue slow back on the transition. Camara went up for that jump shot. What was happening, Purdue knocked down a couple threes, but they were spot-up shots. So she came up with the jump shot. Vicente with a wide open lane, and Hearns coming over to help out to try and stop it.
Vicente out of Sao Paulo, Brazil. College transfer, misses the free throw. She'll get another, has a chance to tie it up.
Came along with Erica Hante, number 40, the center, and little Erica, center angle.
Missed them both. Fight for the rebound. The foul's going to be on Deere. That's number 2 on Carly Deere. We've got a timeout. 11:01 to go. First half. Purdue by a point.
The same game. Look tight, be tight, same mainframe. Shoe City, your city, my city, and Shoe City. City. You see, it doesn't matter about the money you own. Without Shoe City, you're standing alone. Shoe City, your city, my city is Shoe City. Wall to wall, floor to floor, yeah, the gear's tight. Check us first, Shoe City, that's right. Shoe City, your city, my city is Shoe City.
Shoe City.
Every team has a story. This team has 11. Every Sunday, meet the Hoop Stars. One team.
I don't think that all the teams have what we have.
One dream.
But we got winning in mind.
That's what we're going to do.
True stories from the tournament floor.
I think we can do it.
Totally Hoops. Every Sunday at 8:30 p.m., 7:30 Central. Only on Disney Channel.
A 205 horsepower engine, four-wheel anti-lock disc brakes, the most standard safety features in its class, and OnStar on board.
OnStar. Your flight's right on time, Mr. Davis.
And right now, during our Get Packed event, buy a 2001 Buick LeSabre equipped with OnStar, and you also get round-trip air travel for two on Northwest Airlines, in addition to the available $1,000 cash back. So take off today in a new LeSabre.
National semifinal in St. Louis, the Savas Center. And we have a one-point ball game. Purdue over SMS. Glad you could join us on your exclusive home for the Women's National Championship Series here on ESPN. Katie Douglas leads out her ball club. Jackie Stiles the same for SMS. Stiles has not scored in the last 5 minutes. In fact, she's only had one shot. Hit 3 of her first 5 and has been very quiet since then.
The biggest concern for most opponents against Jackie Stiles is to try and keep the ball out of her hands. But she's a crunch time player.
Douglas gets it to Camara. Parks can't get it, but an offensive rebound. Crawford put it back up, had it partially blocked, and it's out of bounds to Purdue.
Cheryl Burnett talked about helping out in the post, and you've got to hold the block. That means keep the post players for Purdue off the offensive glass.
Camara, top of the circle for 3. Knew she missed it, almost got her own rebound. Here comes DeCinte. Let's see if they can get the ball to Stiles on this possession. She's being guarded by Parks right now as they'll alternate fresh players on her whenever they can. Good backdoor cut by DeCinte. Shot clock at 10. Stiles finally got her hands on the ball. Now she's double-teamed. DeCinte got it. And that's what they have to do. If you're going to double-team somebody, the open man that she finds has got to make that shot.
You can almost see the defense once the ball went into Jackie Stiles' hands and was like, uh-oh, we got a double team. And as soon as he left, Stiles found DeCinte over on the wing, wide open. She was going to try and create a shot. She looks to penetrate. She looks to penetrate. You see the help out. Camara comes at her. And nice pass, wide open shot.
Second foul was on Mitchum for a reach-in. And Mitchum will come out of the ball game for a breather. And Hohenberger, number 23, comes in. Her first appearance in the national semifinal. This is Parks playing against Stiles. Stiles turned her head, and Parks missed the shot. The follow is good, though.
One thing you know, you're going to get help in the middle or on the high side. At least you should. So you've got to protect that baseline.
Number 11 is Kinga Keesh. She is in for the first time, the Romanian.
Parks is really doing a good job face guarding Stiles.
DeCinte forced that runner up. Douglas coming back the other way. Really good ball handler. Double teamed and a reach-in foul.
You can talk about it all you want, and especially if you don't have a left-hander on your team and you practice, against somebody like that, but let's say you're practicing, okay, this person's going to be Katie Douglas. Well, she's left-handed, and if you're not guarding somebody in practice left-handed, it's difficult to do it. And then you can talk about it, but guarding that left-handed player, they have different moves, and they're so strong going to that side.
Good Xavier. That was a 1-and-1, and Douglas misses the front end. Peace will give it up to Vicente. Purdue has dominated the last 6 or 7 minutes, but they only lead by 1. Styles, there was a backdoor cut, and Vicente misread it and threw it away.
Purdue put a switch on. Parks was on Styles, and then all of a sudden Katie Douglas just switched off when she came back to the right side. Styles likes the right side. They look to the back door. She's just juking and jiving so much. She's really working hard to get the ball, and SMS is struggling to get it to her. Give credit to the Purdue defense.
Parks guarded by Vicente. 8:42 to go. Douglas, good pass inside as she had Crawford open. Crawford couldn't hit the shot.
What's really helped Purdue also, Mike, is that they've made it a half-court game. SMS really likes to kick the ball up the court, and it opens the floor up for Jackie Styles. They're playing a half-court game in the offense, and Jackie Styles right now is having a difficult time getting the ball.
They've only had one easy bucket. Styles driving, pull-up baseline jumper, short. Parks with a rebound for Purdue. So Styles has missed her last 2 after starting 3 for 5. Wright leans into one tough shot. Oh, what a good-looking freshman Sharika Wright is. She has 5 points, and the lead's up to 3.
She made the freshman team Big Ten. She was the USA Today High School Player of the Year out of Texas.
Katie is in. SMS going deep into its bench right now. Douglas with a height advantage on Styles. Vicente, shot clock at 8. Vicente bailed out as she went up between 2 players and was fouled. She had nowhere to go. Sunday on ESPN 4 Eastern, it's Major League Baseball, the Radio Shack season opener. The Texas Rangers against the Toronto Blue Jays, live from San Juan, Puerto Rico. I invite you to join in for that one. Great to have baseball starting. Vicente gets a couple of free throws. She is 0 for 3 from the line. Tough start for her.
But it's a good substitution by Cheryl Burnett for Melody Campbell. Campbell is an unbelievable leader, but she's not a scorer. And Purdue was dropping off that point guard and even making it more difficult for Styles to get the ball. Vicente is a little bit better scorer.
1 out of 4 from the free throw line. 25-23. SMS within a bucket. 7:48 to go in the half.
I'll be right out. Let me just put this Bud Light away. Hey, Otto. Come on.
Honey, where's Otto? Otto? Otto?
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light.
Sorry.
There are lots of ways to climb to the top. Achieve New Balance.
When you've helped generations of investors chart their long-term success, you gain a certain perspective. That perspective is reflected in Franklin Templeton's range of growth funds. There's one to fit your needs, however they may be growing. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain perspective.
This weekend, Enterprise Rent-A-Car announces special low rates from just $9.99 a day. Friday till Monday from just $9.99 a day. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Now get the Wall Street Journal delivered for 8 weeks at just 38 cents a day, a 50% savings. Call now 800-854-2200. That's 800-854-2200 for the Wall Street Journal.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship is brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Back in St. Louis with Purdue holding a 2-point lead over SMS. The statistics so far, Purdue hitting 11 of 23. SMS has had 5 fewer shots. Turnovers within 1, and Purdue showing its dominance on the board. 14-8 in the rebounding department.
And a lot of it's been on the offensive boards, too, and SMS has not been able to get their fast break going.
Camara picks up her dribble, has to get rid of it to Wright. Looking inside for Cooper, who hasn't touched it very much. Wright, double team. Cooper got it. Dropped right in her lap.
Hyundai did a nice job coming over to steal the double team off the baseline, but good heads-up play by Purdue to find Cooper.
Stiles and Campbell outside.
Now you see how low the zone has just dropped off Campbell? Campbell's got to make some kind of penetration to help open up things inside.
And we've got a foul inside away from the, or no, they called that one a 3-second violation. No, they did call blocking, and that's going to be on Kinga Keish. And I'll say this, they have called this game awfully tight so far.
There's been a lot of stoppage, and with the stoppage of the calls and the timeouts, there really has not been a lot of rhythm to this game.
Deere comes back in as Keish will sit down. 6'7" junior out of Romania, and Ann Cavey, a 6'3" sophomore. She's number 52, comes back in. So Camara will go to the line and gets the first. She'll have another one. 28-23, Purdue by 5. And it is the number 9 team in the country. 1 and 2 are waiting in the wings. Notre Dame and Connecticut in our second game. 1 out of 2 from the line. The lead is 5 as we approach the 7-minute mark.
Well, you look at all 4 teams. They've all been to a Final Four. SMS was there in 1992 in Los Angeles.
Stiles working against Parks. He's a very good outside shooter. Campbell inside, double team. Camara goes down. And the foul is going to be on...
They call an offensive foul on Campbell. When she went up for the shot, Camara ripped it from her, and it looked like the left arm will fly out. I think it's a reaction off the block shot. I don't know if she purposely throws out the arm. It just coming down and hits Camara in the face. She gets called for the foul, and Campbell is a strong player. But it's
that may have had a little acting involved in it, too. Campbell went down, or Camara went down. Didn't look like she was hit anywhere near that hard. Hit a free throw.
And Camara's been an unsung hero on this Boilermaker team because of the fact that last year she played point guard, and she's had to move into that position again.
Camara 1 out of 2 again. The lead is now 6. SMS fans getting a little nervous right now.
Well, they've really done a good job, Purdue has, as far as shutting Jackie Stiles down, not letting her get the ball whatsoever. That's where other players have to step up, and we've talked about that coming into this game.
Visconti trying to penetrate here. Stiles got away from Wright finally. Goes baseline, drives all the way underneath, blocked from behind. Wright did an excellent job, and then she throws it out of bounds.
And Jackie Stiles, Michael, is trying to avoid the charge on that. And this is a tough call because players are just going to plant themselves underneath Jackie Stiles. She goes up for the shot, and she tries to avoid. You see from behind they get it, too.
Stiles gets it. Wright has done a nice defensive job on it with good movement. It has been 10 minutes since Stiles has a shot or scored a point. Mitchum nearly thrown away. Now a fight for the ball. Camara down on the floor, and the possession arrow will give it to Purdue.
Stiles is also doing a lot of standing. Normally, she is cutting and cutting off screens. We had talked about coming into this game. We haven't seen a player since Cheryl Swoops in '93 that the demand on her time was so exhausting. And Stiles, who was named Kodak All-American, was named the Wade Trophy winner. And she's been going to interviews. She's been being pulled different ways. Maybe there's some fatigue.
Cooper, turnaround jump shot, got it. Over Cavey. And then SMS tosses the ball away. 31-23. The Lady Bears out of the Missouri Valley facing a big deficit here with 5:42 to go in the first half. Jackie Stiles had something very prophetic to say earlier this week when you were just talking about all the demands on her time. She said, well, I just hope I don't hit the wall on Friday night. I certainly don't think she's hit the wall, but I don't think they've done a great job at getting her to basketball either.
No, I agree. In the games that we've seen, she reminds me of a Bill Bradley or John Havlicek. Just constant motion. She does such an unbelievable job getting herself open and playing without the basketball. The thing is that game has been changed into a half-court game. Purdue has slowed things down. We talked about this being really choppy. They have not gotten into a running game. She needs to get the ball in the full court, but they've got to create for her, too.
Stiles 3 out of 7. The rest of the team hitting 7 out of 12. They're just not getting that many opportunities. Wright trying to look inside for Crawford. Douglas, good ball handling. Got the wide open look from the top of the key.
Douglas is so good at handling the ball with the right hand. She takes a couple dribbles, hangs you out there defensively, dribbles behind her back, and just sets herself up.
Biggest lead of the game at 10, and Katie Douglas has 7 of them. Vicente can't get inside. This is Mitchell trying to penetrate. Stiles was open, but Vicente couldn't get it over the outstretched arms of Hearns. Nice defense, and not a good pass as Stiles finally had a lot of room in the corner.
In the practice, Cheryl Burnett talked about today, you've got to make hard passes. They've got to be crisp passes, and they've been soft because SMS looks a little tired.
You're right, Annie. They've been floating a lot of passes, and Purdue is right there. Hearns down the lane. The lead is a dozen. 6 for Hearns.
Christy Curry talked about her athleticism, and Christy Curry, who came from Louisiana Tech under Leon Barmore, compared her to Monica Maxwell and Ayanna Walker.
Vicente got free underneath, but thought the pressure was going to be there and missed the shot.
Hearns has such great leaping ability.
SMS has gone more than 5 minutes without a bucket. They've fallen behind by a dozen.
And now you may wonder, in an out-of-bounds play, why doesn't SMS just put the ball in Jackie Stiles' hands coming up the floor?
Camara missed a pull-up jumper. This one's knocked out of bounds. It'll be out to the Lady Bears. I was just going to ask the same question, Annie. She's had a couple of looks from outside, but has not taken the shot.
Unrecaptured capital gains, investment expenses, sole proprietor. No matter how complicated your taxes, H&R Block will solve them for you because we do more complex taxes than any CPA firm. Did you know you can refile past year's tax returns? These people did and got more money back. Come in for the H&R Block Double Check Challenge. We'll re-examine your 1999 return free. We may even find you more money.
Victory is measured in miles, minutes, and if you're really lucky, hugs. Achieve New Balance.
Craig Johnson's office. Hello, Craig Johnson's office. Hello?
Craig Johnson's office.
Mr. Johnson?
Post your resume now. Monster.com.
You the monster.
Hey, check it out. A totally twisted way to eat pizza.
Yeah, new Twisted Crust Pizza from Pizza Hut. It's breadsticks.
No, it's pizza.
It's both.
Look, go directly to the Twisted Crust and tear off a breadstick.
Dude, what planet are you from? You eat your pizza first, and you save your breadsticks till the end.
No, it's breadsticks first, and the free marinara or ranch dipping sauce, then pizza.
You're twisted. Pizza first.
The new Twisted Crust Pizza from Pizza Hut. Breadsticks and pizza together at last.
I got one word for you. Breadsticks.
That's 2 words, Brainiac.
Another one of the best pizzas under one roof.
Purdue leads it by 12, and so far, Jackie Stiles, the NCAA's women's all-time leading scorer, hasn't got many opportunities, Ann.
Purdue has really done a good job sending different players on her. Here she's got Shanika Parks, the senior, who's really done her role well. Then you got Katie Douglas showing the versatility as far as defending a perimeter, and then you've got the freshman Wright coming around, and Stiles has really worked hard to get the ball in. And we were talking at the timeout, the picks don't look strong. They look like soft picks also, and I think Stiles not only has to do a better job rubbing the picks off, but the picks have to be strong picks. They've got to get wider on their base and use their bodies.
Got off to a good start, 7 points in the first 3 minutes. Has not scored since. Stiles now against Wright, works outside against Camara. Vicente, baseline, dumps it off. Cavey, open in the lane. Good ball movement that time. First 2 points for Cavey. The lead's back to 10.
And what the Lady Bears have to do, Mike, like you talked about, they've got to have somebody step up and look for their shots. They're getting some open looks, but nobody's interested in taking them.
Reach in, nearly a steal. Camara got it back. Douglas with Stiles on her. Shot clock at 9. Camara penetrating. Banked it up, missed it. Offensive rebound. Follow won't go. Knocked out of bounds, and it's out to SMS. And it's obvious Purdue is much stronger inside on the board. Coming up on the Montestat halftime report, we'll have Gino Auriemma and Muffet McGraw live, and we'll have a breakdown of the first half here. So far, it has been a great story for Purdue, the largely ignored 4th member of the Final Four.
Christy Curry said coming into this game, they not only had to go inside, they had to be aggressive. They had to go after the basketball, go inside the lane, and get those offensive boards.
Stiles has yet to take one of those long-range shots against that zone. Vicente left alone. He'll take it and make it. Vicente has 5. 35-27, and that's what got the Lady Bears fans in it. They try a little full-court pressure, but Purdue does well against it. Camara for 3.
Look at the job Purdue does getting inside.
Wright got 2 offensive rebounds and scored. They are much quicker and much stronger inside than SMS.
The front line for Purdue is assuming that shots are going to be missed.
Deere, that's her second pull-up 3 from the top of the circle, and Deere has half a dozen. The lead's down to 7. Camara, nice drive. The junior from Schererville, Indiana. 1:50 to go. Tempo picking up a little bit. You would think that would be in SMS favor. Cavey doesn't get the roll. 1 and done for SMS.
It would be in SMS favor if they could hit shots, because Purdue just controlling the boards, and that's been the difference in this first half.
Purdue dominating with a +8 advantage in rebounding. They lead by 9, possession of the ball, and 1:24 to go in the half. Douglas got it. You cannot leave Katie Douglas alone from outside. She has 10. First one into double figures.
Well, Stiles went underneath off the pick, and Deere switched off, which left Douglas wide open.
Vicente. Nice pull-up move. Missed the shot. Rebound easily taken off by Parks. Ahead to Wright. And Vicente commits the foul, and Wright will go to the charity strike for a pair. Purdue ran out well on that one.
What a smart play. Look at Katie Douglas set the pick, just roll away from the defense. Both defenders went with the ball, and it leaves the roll wide open. Nothing prettier in basketball than the pick and roll. Maybe the backdoor. Two plays.
The old plays still work, don't they?
And especially when you can knock it down like that.
Wright will go to the line, the new insertion in the starting lineup after Vleck's knee injury. She'll get another. 67% free throw shooter. Hearns will come back into the ball game. She deserved a rest after 6 points and 7 rebounds. And Melody Campbell is one of the returnees for SMS. Wright, who missed the first, will get another. Purdue leading by 12 under a minute to go first half. Got the roll on the second one. Campbell calling out the play she wants. Hohenberger had it right in her hands and lost it. Parks. Campbell let her go, and Parks scored. A lot of mistakes for SMS. It cost them 15 points. That's the biggest lead for Purdue in this ballgame. Here's Stiles trying to go baseline. Cut off, forced the shot, and she's about the only one inside trying for the rebound. As Hante, she took a swipe at it as she went by. Shot clock is off, and Purdue can play for the last shot of the half. The Boilermakers have had an impressive first half. Douglas. Nice spin move to get in the line, and Douglas scores. What a great show for Purdue. They take a 17-point lead as Jackie Stiles was held scoreless in the last 16.5 minutes of the first half after that big start. And Purdue finishes the half with a 10-0 run. Let's check in with Pam Ward. Pam?
All right, thanks, Mike. I'm here with Christy Curry. Jackie Stiles, 7 points, all in the first 3.5 minutes of the first half. You guys did a good job defensively after that.
Well, you know, Pam, it's 20 more minutes, and we certainly know how powerful and explosive she is, and we can't be satisfied with 20 minutes. It's a 40-minute game.
A lot of stoppages in the game, some fouls, and a lot of whistles. Do you think that plays to your advantage so that they can't get up and down the court?
Well, you know how aggressive that Southwest Missouri is, and we want to come out and be the aggressor, and hopefully, you know, if we can keep being the aggressor, we want it to go our way with the foul situation.
All right, thanks, Christy.
Thanks.
Good luck. Back to you, Mike.
All right, Pam, thanks very much. Katie Douglas, the leading scorer on the floor. She has a dozen first-half points, and the lead is 17. Let's go back to Robin Roberts.
Mike, thank you very much. And Katie Douglas playing like the senior that she is. A 15-point lead for the Boilers. You got to keep in mind they won it all 2 years ago, and they're playing with a lot of savvy. And right now, Nell, Purdue killing SMS on the boards.
Absolutely, Robin. And to win championships, we all know that it's about the boards. You have to dominate. But the two most impressive people on the floor to me are Shalisha Hearns and Sharika Wright, the freshman for Purdue, a part of that #1 recruiting class by a lot of services last year. They have come out to play, Veer, and they're looking good.
Well, we've been asking, how do you stop Jackie Stiles? I guess Sharika Wright, the Gatorade Player of the Year and USA Today Player of the Year, had it all along. She was keeping a secret. She played outstanding denial defense. She got over the screen. She got behind the screen. She did exactly what she had to do, and she refused to let Jackie Stiles even get the ball in her hands, and that was the key to the first half and shutting down that offense.
Well, shutting down the offense, I think that's all Purdue's been is about offense. They have 47 points at the half. We talked about their versatility. They could go inside out. Cooper spent most of the half on the bench because of how the great freshman Hearns was playing. But when Camara has 9 points, Katie Douglas is killing it, and you have so much versatility scoring, it's going to be very difficult, Robin, for Southwest Missouri State to get back in this game.
It will be difficult because they have a number of their starters with 2 fouls as well. As you know, this is the first of 2 we're going to play tonight here in St. Louis. When we come back, a year ago, Gino Auriemma and the Huskies tasted the sweet success of a championship victory. His hopes are to enjoy it again. He will join us, as will Muppet McGraw, who led Notre Dame back to the Final Four with the same intentions. Will Irish eyes be smiling at the end of the night? We'll talk to Gino and Muppet when we come back.
On April 1, Major League Baseball begins. For Alex Rodriguez, Game 1, live from San Juan, Puerto Rico. On April 1, the NCAA Women's Champion will be crowned #1, live from St. Louis. April 1 on ESPN. One season begins, one season comes to a triumphant close.
Ah, they
vacations. They didn't always bring you peace, but at least you had peace of mind, knowing your car, family, and the home you left behind were all protected by State Farm. And now that you're older, we can offer you even more peace of mind with State Farm's deferred annuities, which offer you a choice of options and benefits, like a guaranteed monthly retirement income from a company recognized for financial strength. So call your State Farm agent today.
Where's my magazine? Hey, Ray, can you believe that they got Marcus Camby to do the commercial for ESPN the magazine and not me and you? I don't know, Chris, but, no, Marcus was pretty good. But we've been perfect for this part. I know, especially we both subscribers to ESPN the magazine, and we both got the free fleece jacket. And we've both been in this here magazine. You know what? You got a nice smile in here, too. Thanks, man. That's why we'd be perfect for it. Hey, that's what I'm trying to say.
When you eat, live, and breathe sports, ESPN the magazine is where you want to be.
You know, Chris, we need to work on this paddle yo-yo thing. I think that's what ESPN the magazine wants. Yeah, you're probably right, Ray.
Bigger, bolder, with words and pictures that zoom right to the heart of the game. We cover every corner of sports, from the legends to the laughs, with previews, predictions, and inside information you can only get from ESPN. All with your favorite ESPN personalities, and all with ESPN attitude.
Okay, we need to rehearse this. Second. How's this? Where's my magazine? I like that. What do you think about this stuff? Where's my magazine? Sorry, that's pretty good, but just be a little bit more emotional, like, where's my ESPN the magazine? You are a great actor. Thanks.
Call now for ESPN the magazine. Get 26 issues, a year's worth for just $1 an issue. $1 an issue. That's 66% off the newsstand price. And you'll get our warm, roomy ESPN the magazine gray fleece pullover. Absolutely free.
Hey! That's my magazine, man! Perfect.
Call now for ESPN the magazine and your free ESPN the magazine gray fleece pullover.
1-888-ESPN-MAG. 1-888-ESPN-MAG.
This halftime report is presented by Monistat, the #1 doctor-recommended brand for the treatment of yeast infections.
And at the half, Purdue is leading Southwest Missouri State 47-30 in Game 2 tonight. The third meeting between two Big East rivals in Connecticut and Notre Dame. That is our second game. And good enough to join us. It's not like I don't have anything to do right now. Gino Auriemma, the head coach of Connecticut, Muffet McGraw, the head coach of Notre Dame. We really appreciate you taking some time to be with us.
Good to be here.
Gino, your fifth Final Four. You were in Philly last year. I understand you said you changed your routine a little bit more. We're not used to this warm, fuzzy kind of Gino.
Only on the outside, you know. At practice, everything's still the same. You know, I think once you've been there and the kids know the routine, I don't think you have to be as, you know, overbearing, like we got to do this, we got to do that. They know the routine. I just got to kind of guide them along a little bit, that's all.
And Muffet, you were in the Final Four in 1997, and you too, it seems like you've loosened the reins a little bit, and both of your teams seem to really be enjoying this experience.
Well, we really are trying to stay loose. I think Neil Ivey keeps us loose all the time, but we're having a lot of fun. It's been a great season. I just love this team.
And you said that the win in the regional final meant the most to you as a coach. Why was that?
Well, I was just so proud of my team for accomplishing what they did. We were expected to do pretty well this year. I think when expectations are high, sometimes it's a little bit harder to get where you want to get to. But just being able to bring Neil Ivey home to St. Louis was such a thrill for us.
I know, especially 2 ACLs. You know something about 2 ACLs with Shea Ralph not being able to be here, but it is special for Neil Ivey. You have gone through so many changes, and yet you come back. The adversity that, you know, your team has had to face, losing 2 super players, and still you're here in the Final Four.
I think that's more a reflection of the other players who were really unselfish and let Jay and Svet kind of dominate the whole scenario. And then once they went down, the only thing for them to do was to step up, and they were just waiting to do that. And it's fortunate for us that we had enough of those kids available.
What have you two learned? I know the fans have been looking forward to a third matchup. You each have beaten each other one time on your respective home floors. Have you learned anything from those first 2 meetings, Muffet?
Well, I like the first one a lot better. That's what I learned. I wish we were playing this one at the Joyce Center at Notre Dame.
How about you, Gino?
It's just like the Joyce Center. It's sold out. The place is going crazy. The Irish are going nuts. You know, I thought about this all day. I hope it comes down to the last shot again. I hope it's the kind of game where, for the entire game, both teams play great. What I learned from 2 games, they're impossible to guard. I've tried to figure out every which way I can. You can't guard them.
You're not falling for this, are you, Muffet?
No, she knows I'm telling the truth.
Not falling for the truth. 2 Philadelphia people like you not falling for it at all. Really, thank you so much for joining us.
I'm going with the blue nails, though. I want the blue nails. Show them the green nails. Buff, show them the green nails right there. Come on, get a shot of those green nails. Look at those.
You know, you were destined to coach at Notre Dame. Name like Muffet and green nail polish like that. You're good.
Thanks, Robin.
Thank you very much. Katie Douglas has been superb in the first half of this first semifinal for Purdue. And right now they have a 17-point lead over Jackie Stiles and the Lady Bears. Come on back, folks.
An ailment, different doctors might recommend different treatments. But for women suffering with yeast infections, the #1 recommendation of doctors is specific: Monistat. Monistat starts working immediately to relieve the awful burning and itching, and it provides an effective cure. Sure, doctors have many brands of yeast infection medicine to choose from, but Monistat is their #1 choice. Monistat, the #1 doctor-recommended brand.
If you were loading the Ark today, what would you bring? The E-Class, perhaps the most desirable car in the world.
Hi.
Hi.
You weren't about to eat that, were you?
No.
You can order room service, you know, get a hamburger, salad, omelet, whatever you need, you know.
Whatever, yeah, any of it.
Rock on, brother.
You get a room, we'll bring the food. Holiday Inn gives you more, and more is better.
Welcome back to the Monistat Halftime Report.
Back inside the Savvis Center in St. Louis, we're 20 minutes away from finding out who will be the first to advance to the national championship game on Sunday. Right now, Purdue with a 17-point lead behind 12 first-half points by Katie Douglas. And 16 points off of 12 turnovers. That has been the key for Purdue right now. They're really capitalizing on the mistakes of the Lady Bears. What do you see in the second half, Dan?
Well, I tell you, one of the problems, you mentioned the turnovers, Robin, but with Purdue, they are taking shots away from the Lady Bears. The Lady Bears average 58 shots a game. In the first half, they only got 26. But I tell you what now, they also, the Lady Bears, get to the foul line 26 times a game, only 5 times in the first half.
That's a big problem for them, Nancy, but I'm going to tell you, as a coach, if somebody asked me before a game, what are the 2 things, what are the 2 things that I need to have happen during the game? Well, Purdue's doing both. You want balanced scoring. Everyone is scoring on the floor. Teddy Douglas, your seniors, leading them, and you want to win their battle of the boards, especially on the offensive end. Purdue has 10, Southwest Missouri 2. That's a big problem for Southwest Missouri.
Well, the question remains is how does Southwest Missouri State get back in the game? And #1, get the ball in Jackie Stiles' hands. For her to only have 7 points, and believe it or not, she's still the leading scorer at the half, and she only had those 7 points in the first 3.5 minutes of the game. They have to figure out a way, run better screens to get the ball back in her hands. She really is the key to the offense, and if that doesn't happen, this is going to be a blowout.
And she has attempted only 8 shots. I agree with Vera. You got to get the ball in her hands some kind of way. She's 3 for 8, only 7 first-half points, and she scored those 7 points in like the first 3.5 minutes and has not scored since. And her team is down by 17, 47-30. So a very savvy, a very determined, a very resilient Boilermaker team. Again, we will find out in the next 20 minutes. Will it be Purdue, or will Jackie Stiles turn it on in the second half and lead her Lady Bears to the national championship game?
me a cop for a day.
Come on. Sounds like fun. Right with you. You can lose a hat. I like the hat.
Can you fix my bike?
There's a baby coming out of there.
You're going to have to deliver. Can you have to deliver?
Stay in there. Stay in there.
There's a robbery in progress inside this store. You want me to go in there? Yeah.
You have your vest, right?
When you have an ailment, different doctors might recommend different treatments. But for women suffering with yeast infections, the #1 recommendation of doctors is specific: Monistat. Monistat starts working immediately to relieve the awful burning and itching, and it provides an effective cure. Sure, doctors have many brands of yeast infection medicine to choose from, but Monistat is their #1 choice. Monistat, the #1 doctor-recommended brand.
Capture this year's championship excitement for years to come by reserving your copy of the official 2001 NCAA Final Four program. The official program includes detailed information on your favorite teams, players, and coaches, available for only $14. You can relive this year's excitement forever without ever leaving your living room. Visit us at www.final4.net or call 1-877-255-6331. Price includes shipping and handling. Get into the action today before it's history.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at MBUSA.com.
Back in St. Louis for the women's Final Four. Let's take a look at the first half stats, and Purdue is dominating. They lead by 17. Both teams shooting it well, but Purdue dominating on the glass, 22-12. 10 of those are offensive rebounds, and SMS has committed 12 turnovers. Moments ago, Michelle Tafoya caught up with head coach Cheryl Burnett.
Cheryl, Purdue has taken 11 more shots than your team has. How have they been so effective at keeping the ball in their hands and out of yours?
Well, we definitely think defensively we've just let them do whatever they want. This isn't how we got here. Usually we do it at the defensive end. At the same time, we've been stagnant offensively, and you put the two together, and that's not a very good performance.
Stagnant offensively, and they've done a tremendous job defending Jackie. How do you get the ball back to her?
Well, it's just an execution. We're standing a lot. We're not setting screens when they're man. They're mixing up a little bit of the zone, and we've just been standing. No team orientation to what we're doing at all. We've got to up both ends of the floor right now.
All right, thanks. Good luck.
Thank you.
Stiles, the leading scorer in the history of women's basketball, has had 8 shots in the first half.
And this is a kid that averages over 18 shots a game, 8 free throws a game, and she's not getting it done. She's got to do a better job getting open, and her teammates have to help her out.
And she's an excellent long-range shooter, better than 50%, and she passed on at least 3-point shots in the first half.
And
3 of them.
Jackie Stiles, too, is a kid that does not like to lose. She came out in the second half. There is a different look on her face. She hates to lose. There's unbelievable stories about this kid as far as different competitions, as far as racing to the car. Teammates don't like to play with her because she doesn't like losing in the board games and the card games.
Took a 3, and it rattled out on her. Camara goes down the lane, can't hit the shot. That one's kicked out of bounds. And it will be out to SMS.
Well, that's a break for SMS because, again, they do not look sharp on that defensive set right there. They let the drive come all the way down. They didn't know who they were picking up at the top of the key, and then nobody's getting in a position to take a charge. They're kind of standing sideways.
Campbell. Nixon working with the left-hand dribble. Campbell is left alone momentarily. Now they get it to Stiles. Down the lane, everybody reaching the netter, and Jackie Stiles has her first bucket of the second half.
Stiles also coming down. She's setting up on the left side of the floor. In the first half, she was always on the right side. Now the left side, what it will do, it will create a screen for her to come to the right side.
SMS needs some better defensive presence in this half, too. They could use some steals and some runouts. That looked like a travel on Cooper. Instead, the foul is called on Hante.
Stiles does such a good job curling around the screen. She gets it wide open there, and she's got that little jump hop. When she gets in the middle, she can either go back off the fadeaway or she can go into the basket, depending on where the defense is.
Douglas off the inbounds with a runner. Hante with a rebound, gives it up to Campbell, and the SMS fans, and there are an awful lot of them here in St. Louis. Springfield just a couple of 100 miles down the road.
And we'll have to see what kind of tempo their second half is for SMS if they can get their running game going.
Purdue doing a wonderful job flashing out, trying to deny Stiles the ball, and then double teaming when she gets it. Campbell just tossed one up as she went down the lane. Poor choice on her part. And here comes Camara.
And again, you saw the double team by Purdue was a good job as far as on Stiles, and Stiles finding the open player, but Campbell just not able to get a good shot off.
Christy Curry has done a nice job drilling her team. Offensive rebound and the save to Douglas. Douglas will take the outside shot.
Look at Hearns.
And Purdue is just killing him on the boards. Hearns with another offensive rebound, but she traveled on that one.
And you have to like the smile by the youngster, the young freshman, with good leaping ability, going after the basketball. She gets called for the travel, but Purdue showing that they're still dominating the boards.
Stiles looking for a screen outside. Goes baseline all the way underneath, and Stiles is fouled. That's one thing Purdue did not want to do, commit the personals, because Stiles is such a good free throw shooter. She hits almost 90% from the free throw line.
She gets some room here to the left side. You see Hearns caught from behind. Didn't look like there was much contact. Hearns kind of backed off a little bit.
This game has been called so closely on both sides that almost any contact has resulted in a personal foul. And you see the numbers on Stiles. She's missed both of her three-point attempts.
If Stiles can continue to get to the free throw line in the second half, the game will close very soon.
47-34. Nearly a steal in backcourt. Here comes the double team. Good pass to Douglas. Douglas goes down the lane. A little floater. Got her own rebound. Tried to put it back up. Taken away by Campbell. And here's Stiles in the open court. Contact. And there's a blocking foul. That looked for all the world like a travel on Stiles. And good defense by Camara.
I think Camara was just caught at half court. She was standing there. Stiles saw her, was coming over with a crossover, a high crossover. Looked like it might be a carryover. The ball went real high, and it went right into Camara. And as you said, it might have been a travel.
Stiles around the screen. 15-footer under pressure. Got it. Boy, she can go on a tear. 13 for the nation's leading scorer. Career and single season.
And Cheryl Burnett talked about their defense. They hold their opponents to 66 points and probably doesn't get enough credit, which creates their offense. They were able to get a defensive rebound. Actually, it was the defense that created it, but here you see Stiles coming off. She gets an open look there, and in the open court, it was off the defense where they started to get a run going.
It's a touch foul on Hante, and now Cooper goes up, and she's hacked. And it's going to be Deere, her third.
Erica Hante at 6'4", the junior out of Brazil. She had a big game against Washington. She had 16 points and 11 rebounds. And she's done not much in this game. So the big players for SMS really have to start stepping it up and creating some problems for the Purdue post players.
Hante will go out. KV is in. The lead backs at 12. Cooper was an honorable mention All-American and a first-team academic All-American. So many of these kids are on the academic All-American team.
And Cooper, a political science major, was admitted to law school at Duke this year.
Campbell, top of the circle to Stiles. Trying to penetrate.
Do you think she can move to the Dukies?
Not yet. Stiles, baseline runner hits it. Jackie Stiles now with 15. She's starting to heat up. The lead cut back to 11.
I know people are rooting for Jackie Stiles to just turn it on.
Douglas, baseline. Nice kick out that time. Right with a three. Another offensive rebound to Hearns.
Hearns just goes over everybody.
Pretty good-looking freshman out of Indianapolis. Had quite a future at Purdue. Stiles again kicks it out to Campbell.
Well, at least shoot a free throw. I mean, she dribbled it right to the free throw line and didn't even look at the basket.
SMS nearly turns it over again. Poor pass inside by Deere. Diana Taurasi, one of the great-looking freshmen you will see in this game, the most valuable player in the East region. She and her Connecticut teammates already here to watch the second half of this game. They will face Notre Dame in game number 2. Stiles pull-up jumper. She's hot.
A lot of people have heard in her routine is she wants to make 1,000 shots, not make 1,000 shots before she leaves the floor practicing.
All of SMS points, 10 of them, have come from Jackie Stiles in the second half. Douglas, that's called a block. Holy cow, Douglas telegraphed her drive, went right down the lane. The foul will be called on, is it Campbell?
Well, I had mentioned how SMS was turning sideways. Campbell this time looks like she gets good defensive position right here. They called the slide. That's a tough call right there because Douglas was going all the way.
3 on Campbell, and Katie Douglas, number 3 all-time in points, number 2 all-time in steals, 8th in rebounds, 3rd in assists, 9th all-time in blocks. She has put her name in virtually every page of the Purdue Boilermaker record book.
And she missed one game this year. She rolled that left ankle where she had surgery on it this summer.
Stiles is on fire, but Purdue has been equal to it so far. They still lead by 13.
The Action Sports and Music Awards, fueled by Mountain Dew, coming April 10th on ESPN.
If you were loading the Ark today, what would you bring? The E-Class, perhaps the most desirable car in the world.
Ah, vacations. They didn't always bring you peace, but at least you had peace of mind, knowing your car, family, and the home you left behind were all protected by State Farm. And now that you're older, we can offer you even more peace of mind with State Farm's deferred annuities, which offer you a choice of options and benefits, like a guaranteed monthly retirement income from a company recognized for financial strength. So call your State Farm agent today.
If you're driving in rain, it's important to know if your car has anti-lock brakes.
Where to, ladies? Oh, I don't know. Where do you feel like eating? How about that new place on Main?
If you don't have anti-lock brakes and begin to skid, release the brake pedal, gently reapply pressure, and steer in the direction you want the car to go. As your tires regain their grip, you'll regain control. For more foul weather driving tips, get this free book from Shell. Count on Shell.
I was always consumed with the X's and O's of football. Where people went, where they moved to, it was like a chess game to me. I could see 22 people in my mind when I closed my eyes. I could see exactly where they are, exactly where they're going, and I thrived on the strategies and tactics of the game.
Knowledge is the edge. At Invesco Funds, it's the approach we use to make money for investors. You should know what Invesco knows.
Purdue leading by 13 here in St. Louis. In addition to being a great player, Katie Douglas has faced some adversity, losing both of her parents to cancer over a 3-year span. So what would they think of her now?
Just telling me how proud they are of me, and not for necessarily my basketball accomplishments. I mean, they're proud of that, but just more so that, you know, I've excelled in the classroom and really worked hard, because that wasn't, you know, maybe one of my focuses growing up.
Katie Douglas facing all that adversity, and she said she almost quit school, actually came back, and not only is an All-American as a player, but as you mentioned, Mike, she's one of those academic All-Americans.
She's got a lot of courage, too, Pam. Nice job. She just has made some big shots in this ballgame. Stiles, what a tough shot that is. Wouldn't go for her. And SMS just can't get anything going offensive rebounding. Nothing.
Styles in double figures now, but only one time in her career was she held a single digits. That was back as a sophomore. And twice she scored over 53 points in her career.
Offensive rebound, Cooper off the miss from Hearn.
We talked about the jumping ability of the Purdue post players. What SMS might need to do as far as their post players, blocking out against Purdue would be to bend their knees and have their backs down a little bit. Because right now they're standing straight up and they're getting pushed underneath the basket by Purdue. So they have no positioning to get a defensive rebound.
Camara baseline. Cooper offensive rebound. Same spot, same result.
And Cheryl Burnett is hot on the sideline.
And Purdue obviously wants it more inside right now. They are just destroying the Lady Bears on the board. Campbell, boy, what a tough pass to try to make. Somehow they got it back, and then Deere threw it away. And the SMS dominant crowd can feel it slipping away here with 14-12 to go in the ballgame. Styles comes out hot, and they really can't cut into that 15-point halftime lead very much.
You can really see how the player reflected the coach's face. Both of them very intense.
Cooper with a miss. Cavey with a rebound. Purdue gets back on defense very well. Cavey almost had that pass picked off. And a nice touch on the shot by Mitchum. She got the roll, and it's 57-44.
And you can see that SMS is really struggling to get back defensively. They look a lot more fatigued than Purdue does.
Douglas, nice job dribbling out of a double team.
Just waiting for that burst of energy by the Lady Bears. And Styles had it early in the second half, but can she continue it?
Camara for three. Loose ball goes to Mitchum. Kicks it to Styles. She wants to be in the open court. Styles, pull-up jumper in the lane. Double team blocked from behind. Getting a piece of that was Camille Cooper. Good hustle by Cooper to get down court from behind. Camara misses the runner. Look at Styles explode. 1-on-2. Styles leaned in, did not get the bucket, knocked, pulled the baseline, and saved by Purdue.
And normally Styles will get that call. Cheryl Burnett talked about 1-on-1, 1-on-2, 1-on-3. She can do it.
Douglas with numbers.
Now they're not calling those fouls inside.
Well, I tell you, we went a long stretch where a touch foul, any touch was a foul, and now they're hammering each other. 30. Purdue showing a lot of courage and a lot of strength on the board. The lead back to 15.
With officiating, you get the best seat in the house. You get a great workout, and, you know, they pay you for it. What could be better than that? Advice I would give for a new official would be prepared to work hard, be receptive to criticism, but you have to have a thick skin.
You're foul white. That's your pull down.
The best job that you know you've done is when you walk off the floor, and no one can really even remember who officiated that game. Officiating is the greatest thing.
Welcome back to the Savas Center in St. Louis, Missouri. We're here for the NCAA Final Four, leading to the women's championship game on Sunday night, and Purdue, with a dominant performance on the boards, leads by 15 points. They are plus 17 over Southwest Missouri, and what it appears that anytime the ball goes up on the glass, they want it more, and they have gone and gotten it.
And you can say that's the story, but the story also has been their defense.
Mitchum can't get inside. They have done a very good job. Mitchum for three. They need a few of those.
That was good patience, good ball movement. That time, Purdue was not able to get their hands on those cross-the-key passes.
Now Deere will pick up Douglas in backcourt. Here comes the double team. Purdue's done an excellent job moving the ball against them. Blocked by Cavey. Outlet to Styles. Taken back by Douglas. Great anticipation by Katie Douglas. And then she gets a timeout before the tie-up. What a smart play. Two of them on the same play by Douglas. Sunday on ESPN, 4 Eastern. Guess what? Major League Baseball, our Radio Shack season opener. The Rangers and the Blue Jays live from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Then at 8 o'clock Eastern, the March to the Arch concludes. We'll have the 2001 NCAA Women's Basketball Championship Special, followed at 8:30, the National Championship Game. And right now, Purdue leading by 12 for the right to go to that game against the winner of Connecticut and Notre Dame. 11:56 to go in this ball game.
You mentioned about the rebounding. Hearns, the freshman, has 11 rebounds so far in the first half. Cooper was 6 and Wright was 6.
They are just killing SMS inside on both ends of the court. Camara to inbound. Douglas against Styles. Camara is matched up with Campbell. SMS trying to apply the defensive pressure. Nice pass by Douglas. Got it into Hearn. She missed the shot. Got it back and fouled on the follow.
And that's just a mental mistake right there. You make a good defensive play, and you've got to come up with the rebound or the block shot, whichever it is. But Purdue, as you said, Mike, they want it more. They are going inside, and you can see there is no block out of Hearns. Katie, once she blocked it, just kind of turned sideways.
Hearns goes to the free throw line. You can see on the replay how good Hearns is at creating a little space, getting in close, getting the bump, and then fading away a little bit. She's working on a double-double. And now Douglas is going to come out of the ball game for a breather.
Chrissy Curry calls her the sleeper in the class. Out of Braun Ripple High School in Indianapolis.
First free throw, no good. She'll get another. And they appear to be working on the right leg of Katie Douglas. And that's Candy Crawford back in the ball game. She's had physical problems a couple of years at Purdue, along with all the emotional torment she has gone through. Hearns hits the second free throw. 60-47, Boilermakers.
I was born into a new generation.
I was born into a new generation.
I was born into a new generation.
I was reborn into a new generation.
Generation D.
WorldCom. Generation D.
Generation D isn't about the country.
It isn't about culture. It's about attitude.
Ich komme aus Deutschland, from Germany.
Je vis en France.
I come from Indonesia. Saya datang dari Indonesia. I'm from Oklahoma.
Oklahoma?
But we speak the same language.
Digital. And we make it easy to understand.
Want to know about web hosting?
Web hosting.
Web centers.
Global IP VPN.
You've come to the right generation.
Generation D.
WorldCom.
Generation Digital. You've come to the right generation.
Generation D.
They say the trick to riding the rapids is staying alert. Like my Subaru Outback. It's got full-time all-wheel drive, so it's always on the alert. Ready with the traction you need. The second you need it. Subaru Outback, the world's first sport utility wagon. Of course, where I come from, they don't require a helmet. Then again, they don't require a kayak either.
Now you can get financing as low as 3.9% APR on all 2001 models.
Whether it's the beauty of the outdoors, the unique family festivals, or the heritage only Missouri knows, it's the memories that really count. Missouri, where the rivers run.
Welcome back to St. Louis. We're playing the two semifinal games tonight to see who advances to the championship game Sunday night at 8:30. You'll see the preview show at 8 o'clock on Sunday night. Southwest Missouri State and Purdue coming up. Number 1, Connecticut. Number 2, Notre Dame. UConn in the house. Sue Bird, one of the great players in college basketball, is a wonderful point guard, and she hit the game winner in the second game as Connecticut knocked off Notre Dame in the Big East Championship.
Now, how about her not making Kodak All-American this year?
Stunning.
Might be a little incentive.
Campbell comes outside to Deere. This is Cavey trying to go baseline and can't. Bird hasn't touched it on this possession. She had a couple of nice stretches, but they haven't been able to get her the ball consistently enough. And here's the reach-in foul on Parks. Let's go to Pam Ward. Pam, what do you have?
All right, Mike. Katie Douglas has, looks like many floor burns. One has just opened up on that right knee, so they put a Band-Aid on it and taped it up. They've also taped her right pinky to her right ring finger. The trainer says that she just jammed it. That's her non-shooting hand. You see the tape, and she's staying in.
Now, Pam, I think she's got enough parts to last the weekend. She's going to hang in there as long as it takes. Tough kid. Styles at the line, hits the first, has another. She can cut the lead to 11 again, and does. Purdue's done a nice job holding off the runs that SMS has thrown at them. Here comes the trap. Douglas, so smart. And that pass, I jinxed her. It's really the first time, and then she rips the tape off. She says, I can't play with those fingers taped together. I'll take whatever pain there is. Let's just go get it.
Well, again, they're on the right hand, not her shooting hand. But SMS going that 1-1-2-1 half-court trap.
Campbell outside, not looking for a shot. Styles, double teamed, almost lost it. Mitchum has it. Shot clock at 12. Mitchum for 3. Tipped out of bounds. That's out to SMS.
Well, that's a break for the Lady Bears, and right now, I think that Campbell has helped get SMS here. There's no question. Melody Campbell is senior at 5'7", but she's really hurting this team. She absolutely will not look at the basket. And when you have a player out there, you're basically playing 5-on-4.
Only averages 2 points a game. Took over the point guard duties a year ago. He's looking to get the ball to Styles. Chance to go under 10 with a bucket. Nice step out by Douglas again. And Deere nearly threw it away again. Shot clock at 13. It's going to be up to Styles. Lost the ball. Good save, then taken back again, and now Purdue basketball.
I don't know how much film that Christy Curry had her team watch, but they have Jackie Styles moves, and they're double teaming exactly when she picks up the ball going left and when she's about to turn.
They've done a great job at knowing what is coming. Right down the lane. Another offensive rebound.
The Lady Bears just don't have the size inside to stay with Purdue, and it's been proven all game long.
That's 19 offensive rebounds. You are not going to lose if you have 19 offensive boards. Styles for 3. Defensive rebound this time for Cooper.
Styles, who shoots over 57% from the floor, you can see that there's a little bit of tiredness on that shot, just not quite getting there.
Douglas, excellent ball handler. This is Parks. Cooper, nice kick out to Wright. She'll try a 3 and knock it down. Wright shoots better than 51% from long range. That was huge. It makes the lead 16. Purdue, coming into this ball game, had only a 3.3 rebound advantage on its opponents over the course of the year. SMS had almost 6.5. Not tonight.
Purdue shooting 44% from the floor, but those offensive rebounds are just killing SMS, and you could see how they were trying to back Purdue out. 3 offensive rebounds for the Lady Bears, 19 for Purdue. You're going to get a lot of points.
And Purdue, as a result of that rebounding, has had 18 more shots from the floor than SMS. The expectations were so huge for Jackie Styles coming into this ballgame. You just know everyone in this building who came to see her is disappointed. She has 19 points in 3/4 of a ballgame.
And she is electrifying, and we've seen it game in and game out, what she's capable of doing, and even with 9 minutes left to go in this game, who knows when she can go off. But that fatigue factor and the defense that Purdue is putting on this team is stifling.
A good save by Cavey, and right now Styles is not on the floor. Vicente trying to get inside, back to Deere for three. Deere hits a big three-point shot. That cuts it down to 13.
And that's the first rest that Jackie Stiles has had in this game. Deere's capable of bringing him back, too. She was 5 of 8 against Toledo from three-point range.
Douglas with the drive. She's fouled on the way in. Vicente picks up her second. Right now, if you're Purdue, all you want to do is get the ball up on the glass because somebody is going to go get it. And Douglas lost that one out of bounds. A rare mistake for Katie Douglas.
It was a tough pass going underneath the basket like that. But again, with her being left-handed, they felt that she had a better chance of getting the grab with the strong hand.
Here as they try to make a backdoor cut, Mitchum is fouled by Wright. Check in with Michelle Tafoya. Michelle.
Well, Mike, if you look at Jackie Stiles and the question of fatigue, the question earlier was of nerves. I spoke with her dad and her fiance. Her fiance, Matt Barnett, said, the only time I was more nervous than tonight was when I proposed. And her dad said, I hope that she's less nervous than I am. I hope that she's more confident than I am. I'm as nervous as it gets.
And can you blame him? Deere scores off the inbounds pass. The lead is cut to 11. Camara and Douglas, a pair of very, very smart guards. And Hearns has been brilliant on the glass. Douglas will pull up for three. Big shot. Katie Douglas has 17. Here's the reach in the steal. Camara hustling for all she's worth, trying to save it.
The Z-car.
That's the almost bang defender on that one. 68-54. The lead is 14. The first team All-American, Katie Douglas, leading her ball club in the scoring column and maybe leading them into the championship game Sunday night.
Here's a lesson to stay in the game. Look tight, be tight, and stay mainframe. Shoe City, your city, my city, and Shoe City. You see, it doesn't matter about the money you own. Without Shoe City, you're standing alone. Shoe City, your city, my city, and Shoe City. Wall to wall, floor to floor. Yeah, the gear's tight. Check us first. Shoe City, that's right. Shoe City, your city, my city, and Shoe City.
Shoe City.
It's what opens my mind.
I remember her eyes. Just gets me right here.
It's where I watch the world change.
I think it's funny.
Whatever you wonder about, think about, feel passionate about, or laugh about, you'll find a channel about it on TCI Cable.
I really get into it.
TCI Cable, where there's something for everyone.
As the Final Four winds down, turn to ESPN to keep up. Inside analysis from Chris, Digger, and Dickie V.
The best sporting event of them all.
With round-the-clock coverage and live sports centers from Minneapolis. ESPN's got the Final Four covered.
You think you're ready for this? This is the show, Rook. This isn't about stats. It's about guts, instinct, and knowing the slugging percentage of a career platoon player with a knack for clutch dingers. Warm up the modem, Sparky. This here's reality. ESPN Fantasy Baseball. Sign up today.
She's the biggest sport utility on the planet.
Yeah. Big.
8.5 feet wide. Seats 84.
While other companies were busy thinking bigger, Subaru was thinking smarter. That's why the Forester gives you the rugged traction of all-wheel drive with a smooth, easy car-like ride.
Coming in any other colors?
No, that's pretty much it.
Subaru Forester. Sport utility tough, car easy.
Now you can get financing as low as 3.9% APR on all 2001 models.
And Myers all over the court. Katie Douglas has been tough for Purdue.
And Christy Curry said it in the beginning. Two-time All-American. I'm upset. She does it all over the court at 6'1", the versatility to be able to face up to the basket, her ball handling skills to set herself up. She can post up, she sets screens, but her defense also. This year, she's averaging 8 less minutes and 5 less points. She averaged 20 points last year, and Christy Curry feels that that's a benefit to Katie Douglas's game.
The lead is 14. Stiles is back in the ball game. She has been held to 19 points. Her average is 30. The nation's leading scorer, Vicente, steps inside the three-point line and missed the jump shot.
And SMS, as soon as they take that shot, they are falling back on the defensive end, so there's nobody going to the offensive glass.
Well, they're running out of time to do it. There's only 7:19 to go in this ballgame. Nice pass from Camara to Douglas, and Katie Douglas now has 19 points to tie for game-high honors with Stiles. Vicente kicks it back out to Mitchum. 70-54. Purdue now with a chance to put it away. Stiles. One and done as Cooper clears the glass.
Stiles, too, trying to get open a lot by herself, and she's facing the defense. Lots of times what you can do, too, is just kind of stand there and bump your body up against the defense because they're face guarding you, and then roll with your back, and it will create an opening for you.
Another great pass to Douglas. Douglas got her own rebound. Got it again. Boy, it looked like she was hacked twice by Hante.
She's talking about it. As you said, the nice pass to inside. She's got three players in her. The ball comes right back. Again, nobody screaming out. Comes back down. And she gets the rebound. They call.
Tavy checks in, and then there's a foul off the ball. And it's going to be Stiles holding Douglas. It's going to be 2 on Stiles, and the 1-and-1 for Katie Douglas.
And Stiles picked up that first foul very early in the game. And it's not that it took her out of the game, but it almost seemed like SMS was trying to figure out where the calls were going to come from and how they were going to play.
In that last sequence, Purdue got its 20th and 21st offensive rebounds of the game.
But you have to like how aggressive they are, not just on the boards, but getting themselves to the free throw.
They sure are. Christy Curry did a wonderful job game planning for this ballgame. I really didn't think they would be able to play this kind of defense against Jackie Stiles. There's the double team. Stiles had it blocked, and then Stiles is fouled.
And Stiles just never stops. And, you know, there's a connection with Cheryl Burnett, and I have to throw this in because of the old days. And no disrespect to the NCAA, this is the 20th year, and Jackie Stiles is the NCAA leading scorer. But, you know, Lynette Woodard, who played at Kansas, is the leading scorer in women's basketball.
In the AIAW.
Well, and I think you have to give credit to the AIAW.
Oh, absolutely.
As far as the players that played in the past, and she has over 3,600 points, and Lynette Woodard played for Marion Washington at Kansas, and that's where Cheryl Burnett played, with Lynette Woodard at Kansas.
Stiles gets her second free throw, 71-55. And they just haven't been able to do anything defensively against Douglas and Camara, the Purdue guard.
And that's what Cheryl Burnett talked about, is their defense has been the key all season long. Lots of fouls off the ball in this game. There's the all-time leading scorers. You see Lynette Woodard at Kansas, Jackie Stiles, Cindy Brogdon, who transferred to Tennessee, played on the Olympic team, Carol Blazejowski from Montclair State, Denise Curry, who I had the opportunity to play with, who won the national championship in '78, but just all great players. And as much as Jackie Stiles could create her own shot, all those players could too.
And you and all the great players that really got this entire thing started really never got the kind of publicity that these kids are getting.
But I don't think you ever lose sight of the coaches on how many wins they had, and then the players that played and what they've done for the game. Carol Eckert at Westchester State University basically back in 1969 got the women's tournament going.
Camara looked for Douglas cutting, now decides to do it herself. There's a reach in and a foul.
And I applaud the NCAA for where they've brought the women's game and the media exposure, the TV, and the Final Four. I mean, it is so much fun and exciting to be a part of this, but again, it just didn't start with the NCAA.
Camara will go back to the line. She's really dividing the point duties, it seems, with Katie Douglas. She does not care for the point guard job as a specific. But with the injury and the dramatic need for her to step in that situation, she has taken to it.
I think Shanika Parks off the bench, the senior, has really come in and also contributed in this game for Purdue defensively as far as holding Styles, along with everybody else.
73-55. Styles with 20, but her team is down by 18. Steer way off on a three.
That was a knuckler.
Yes, it was. And Kamara comes up with a loose ball, gives it to Douglas. So all the hopes and dreams that so many of the fans here in St. Louis had for SMS advancing to the championship game are going up in smoke right now. 4:55 to go in the game. Douglas with a drive, and she is bodied up and fouled by Hante. And Douglas will go back to the line. The third foul on Hante.
There you see the Styles family. And how proud they have to be, though, of Jackie and what she's accomplished in her career.
She's been magnificent. It's certainly not going to end here. I saw one pro scout say she was a top 3 pick.
And she proved it to a lot of people. And unfortunately, Southwest Missouri State has not been on TV an awful lot through Jackie Styles' career. And unfortunately, so the rest of the country has not had the opportunity to see what she has.
20 points, now 21 for Katie Douglas, and it's 74-55. Mitchum looking for Styles, coming off a cut. Instead goes to Campbell, now back out to Gear. She misses again on a three. Hante, offensive rebound. There certainly haven't been many of those. And then bangs it off of Parks out of bounds.
And you can see how quickly Purdue was. They don't get a rebound. They just swim the ball, and SMS is really having a tough time kicking it out to somebody.
A lot of gold jerseys in there. Styles, great cut into the lane, and then missed a shot. Hante got her hands on it, but couldn't hold it.
Well, and you mentioned, Mike, was she going to hit the wall, and it's just off a little bit, and she's working so hard, and we've seen the games in the past, few games in the tournament where she has just gone off and she's like in a zone, and she's never been able to get into that zone in this game.
Well, coming into this game, she had scored better than 30 points 40 times in her career, 12 times over 40 and twice over 50. She's just a scoring machine. Annie, you were talking about former stars. I've got a couple here. Rebecca Lobo and Jen Rosati, who starred for Connecticut, here to watch the Huskies play Notre Dame coming up, both #1 seeds and the #1, #2 teams in the country.
Back in '95, that team went undefeated, 35-0, to match Texas' undefeated season that went 34-0. Rebecca Lobo was Player of the Year. Jen Rosati, the fiery Italian guard that exemplified Gino Auriemma out on the floor. And now he's got another Italian guard. Tamika Catchings, a 4-time All-American for Tennessee, only played 17 games this season as she tore her ACL.
Well, some great players have been hurt this year. I mean, arguably 3 of the best 5 in the country not able to finish the season. 2 of them from Connecticut and Catchings from Tennessee. Mitchum with the runner and a rebound to Douglas.
Even though Mitchum missed that shot, that's one thing the Lady Bears did not do. They did not get dribble penetration in the middle. They weren't getting the ball inside of their post players. But even when Purdue spread their defense, the offensive players for SMS were not getting in the lane.
Campbell with a reach-in and a foul. That will be 4 on Melody Campbell. She will see her college career come to an end, the senior from Claremore, Oklahoma. Second time in their history, SMS has made it to the Final Four, but they are not going to be going beyond this game. Styles, by the way, has missed her last 7 shots. And you just feel the air leaving this building a little after halftime when they made a couple runs and Purdue just too tough.
It really has, and this is the 3rd Final Four for Purdue. Back when Lynn Dunn was coaching in '93.
3:24 and counting. The lead has grown to 20. Hats off to Purdue. Tremendous game plan and wonderful execution. Mitchum down the lane, forced it up against the double team, got it back. Styles forced it up, and she's back. it's really remarkable that Purdue has had 4 coaches since '96 and all this tremendous success.
Oh, it really has. Lynn Dunn, again, they took the team to the Final Four, and Nell Fortner came in, and she was Big Ten Coach of the Year, left to be the Olympic coach. Carolyn Peck was her assistant. She stepped in, and you have to admire how Carolyn Peck took the team and said in the beginning of the season, because she announced that she was going to be a pro coach,
right,
and took the team when they went to France and said, we've got to play for this year, and they did, and the players stuck together. A lot of them thought about maybe leaving, and they won the '99 championship. And then Christy Curry stepping in and brought them to another Final Four.
They have all done a magnificent job for that program, Elite 18.
They say the trick to riding the rapids is staying alert, like my Subaru Outback. It's got full-time all-wheel drive, so it's always on the alert. Ready with the traction you need. The second you need it. Subaru Outback, the world's first sport utility wagon. Of course, where I come from, they don't require a helmet. Then again, they don't require a kayak either.
Now you can get financing as low as 3.9% APR on all 2001 models.
Good morning, e-thinkers. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's having fun. But does anybody know where the swimming pool is?
Conference rooms, business services, and yes, a pool. Holiday Inn gives you more, and more is better.
Why don't you get us something to cool this fire down?
I got just the thing. I got 2 laws for that fire.
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
That's not that bad.
When you're tuned into global and local markets like we are, you gain a certain perspective. That perspective is reflected in Franklin Templeton's diverse range of over 100 funds. There's one to match your style, no matter what that is today. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain perspective.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship is brought to you by Subaru. Visit us at Subaru.com to see our full line of all-wheel drive vehicles.
One of the reasons we were talking about Purdue's success under 4 coaches in such a recent time span is the senior class. Winningest class in Big Ten history, 110 and 25, the 1999 NCAA champions, and still alive for a shot at the 2001 title. Right now, they're ahead by 18 points with 3:05 to go, and it's one of the things that Christy Curry said. Her seniors simply refuse to lose.
We talked about the adversity a lot of people have said as far as Katie Douglas's situation with her family and losing her parents, and this past summer, Tiffany Young, a certain team member,
lost to a drunk driver.
That's right.
And Melody Campbell picks up the foul, and she is gone. And 4 senior starters for SMS will be playing their final ball game. The toughest thing about sports is that if you don't win the championship, you leave on a low note, losing the ball game. And as wonderfully as they have played this year, 29-5, they will go out with a loss here in St. Louis.
And as much as we said in the opening that this was the stage for Jackie Stiles for people to see, do not base this one game on what she has accomplished in women's basketball. And she'll go on and continue to play and show people what she will do on a long-term basis. But, you know, she has had an unbelievable career at SMS. And, yes, it's unfortunate she didn't have the kind of game that we've all seen throughout the regionals and the tournament.
But even more credit to Purdue because of the way that they played defense against her. The design that the coaching staff came up with and that the players implemented. They worked as hard defensively as she did offensively. And certainly Sharika Wright, who started on her and played her a lot of the night, did a brilliant job defensively. And there is another rebound for Purdue. They have just destroyed the Lady Bears on the glass.
And some of those shots that Jackie Stiles is taking right now, they were going in the last few games. I mean, everything was falling for her.
She has hit only 7 out of 21 shots from the floor in this game. On the season, she is a 57% shooter from the floor.
And there you see Wright, a freshman, checking. And that's the first time I've seen the double screen for Jackie Wright. And then you see Hearns switching off on her at 6'3". So she's had all kinds of looks defensively coming at her tonight.
Katie Douglas hits the free throw. Douglas with 22. 2:31 to go in this game, and the lead just continues to mount for Purdue. And now they will have a very brief time to celebrate this one, and then they will turn their attention to the second game and watch Notre Dame and Connecticut play for the right to go to a championship on Sunday night. Sinte draws contact, gets the bucket.
The Stiles this season against Western Kentucky, her worst shooting game was 7 of 19, 36%, but she still had 24 points. As she always gets to the free throw line. She was 9 of 9, and she has not been able to get to the free throw line in this game. That's another place where she lives.
We congratulate Stiles on just a tremendous career. Douglas will go out to an ovation. Oh, no, she's not sitting there. Cooper went out with her foul. And Douglas will get the ovation shortly, I'm sure. She and Camara have done a great job in the backcourt. 79-60.
And you really have to give Purdue a pat on the back to lose their starting point guard, freshman Erica Valek, all season long. And Camara just stepping into that point guard position. As you mentioned, she was the regional MVP.
Virtually every trap that they have seen tonight, they have managed to beat with 10-point passing.
And how quickly Purdue gets back on the transition defense to stop Jackie Stiles and give the ball up.
Vicente tries to take it inside, has it stuffed out of bounds, a minute 58 on the clock.
You talked about the switching defense and how Christy Curry has taken this team and really came in prepared defensively against Jackie Stiles, but not only when the ball is in her hands, but it made her give up the ball.
Here with a miss, and the rebound, again, controlled by Purdue.
But you love the heart and the desire and never giving up of the Lady Bears. What hands on that one?
Tell you what, Hearns can get up and she can catch.
The Ken Griffith catch, huh?
Double catch, right.
I'm in the wrong count.
Wrong city. Douglas for the runner. Katie Douglas has 25 points. Sinte goes into Mitchum. Ball knocked away and stolen. Mitchum tried to keep it alive, and it's off of Purdue out of bounds. Gino Auriemma lurking backstage, waiting for his opportunity to face Notre Dame. That will be the third time those programs have played. Katie Douglas leaves the ball game. The senior class goes out. They have an awful lot to be proud of. Douglas with 25 points. And she'll get to play again Sunday night.
Wow, what
this
a
time
performance.
Facing another championship. She was great on both ends of the court.
Purdue has just played position defense.
There's a double team foul on Noon.
Katie Douglas's sister Kim Rostarelli, who had a son Drew during all the ordeal of their mom's situation. And I had a chance to talk to her at the Kodak All-American Awards yesterday, and she knows both her parents lived through her. And she's got them with her, and she's just such a strong young lady, and really fun to be around, too.
Here's the ovation for Jackie Stiles, a dead end to a wonderful career at SMS, the small-town girl who was such a wonderful player for 4 years at that school. finishes as the single-season scoring leader in NCAA history and the career scoring leader in NCAA history.
And look at the standing ovation still for her. And yesterday at the shoot-around, how little boys were cheering, Jackie, Jackie. And it was just crowded, and they couldn't take their eyes off her because of her routine as far as everybody else quit when practice was over for SMS. She was the only one on the floor continuing to take shots, and people were just on their feet watching her.
She quit when they threw her out of the building and the next team had to come in. 3,393 points for 5'8" Jackie Stiles. Let's check in with Michelle Tafoya. Michelle?
Well, this is the end of a great college basketball career, and this week, Jackie Stiles has been dragged in so many different directions. Her father was telling me that even he was being tracked down by the media. Phone calls, interviews, people showing up at his classroom all week long. He couldn't get away from it. Magnify that by about 100, and you know what kind of week Jackie Stiles has had, and she just looked fatigued. All due respect to Purdue, but this is not a typical SMS performance tonight when you compare it to the way they played the rest of the tournament.
And, Michelle, I know that was one thing that we had talked about earlier in the week, and some people were afraid of, that finally, after playing a lot of her career without the benefit of television, to get on TV a couple of times, and to be able to come to this stage for the national semifinals, everybody, whether they were rooting for Purdue or SMS or anyone else in this tournament, they just wanted to see Jackie Stiles do it.
And it's just so tough to block it out because not only the fatigue factor being pulled, but you're asked the same questions over and over. And mentally, it wears on you.
How was it playing for the Pacers? You've heard that one, what, 11,000 times?
I'm too old to remember.
Under 20 seconds to go. And Purdue, with an outstanding victory here tonight in the national semifinals, they will play for a championship on Sunday night here at the Savas Center in St. Louis. And they get to relax and watch Notre Dame and Kentucky take each other on to see who gets the honor of facing the Boilermakers in the championship game. A great night for Christy Curry. Only in her second year, she has now taken her team to a national championship game. The third coach to do so. For Purdue, 81-64. Purdue advances, and they will play the winner of the game coming up next. Connecticut and Notre Dame, two #1 seeds. Great night for Katie Douglas and the Boilermakers. Robin, let's go back to you upstairs.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. Carolyn Peck, in just her second year with the Boilers, led them to a national championship. Christy Curry, one win away from doing the same thing, and now, you talked about at the half, the freshman for Purdue, they poured it on in the second half as well.
Robin, they were absolutely outstanding. These two players, Sharika Wright and Shalisha Hurst, changed the course of the game, in my opinion. They came out and played like veterans in a tournament where experience is key. These kids came out and played like they had all the experience in the world. They did a great job.
Well, they did exactly what they said they were going to do. Christy Curry said, we can't stop Jackie Stiles, but we can limit her touches. And Sharika Wright, well, was pretty much just in her shorts the entire time. She would not let her get the ball. She did an excellent job. Jackie Stiles got about 20, just over 20, but definitely under her average. That, of course, hurt a little bit. Also, they wanted to beat them on the inside game. They totally out-rebounded them, and they got some nice looks inside to Cooper. They just did exactly what they said they were going to do, Nancy.
Vera, we're talking about mission possible for Katie Douglas. Not only does she score 11 of the last 16 points in the game for Purdue, 25 points in the game. This is very reminiscent of a player named Michael Jordan who's feeling the moment. She's calling her own number. She's posting up. She's shooting from the outside. Absolutely a brilliant performance by Katie Douglas.
Yes, it was a brilliant performance, and also by Camille Cooper, even though she fouled out. The two seniors that have really set the tone for this Boilermaker team. All right, let's get you back down on the floor with those two seniors and our Pam Ward.
Thank you, Robin. And yes, Nancy just compared you to Michael Jordan. First off, let's talk about the defensive effort today. The whole team shutting down Jackie Stiles.
That was a great team defense that we played today, and we just wanted to not necessarily shut her down because obviously, you know, she got her points, but we wanted to really limit her touches and throw a lot of stuff that they might not have seen before, and I think, you know, it was a total team effort, and I couldn't be happier.
You had 25 points, a great effort on your part. You sort of took control there. You did everything with the drives, dribble penetration, the threes.
I just, you know, was trying to get my team into an offense and do whatever I could to be successful. If they came over, you know, I was looking for a teammate to hit a big shot, and it was just a complete team game, and I think he saw that tonight.
Okay, and also you jammed your pinky finger there. How's it feeling?
It's feeling a little sore, but it's going to be ready to go.
Okay, congratulations. Camille Cooper, you just ate up the glass, especially offensively. That obviously was a point of emphasis, but you probably couldn't envision doing it that well.
Right. I just know that rebounding wins championships, and we really have to crash the boards. We needed second and third opportunities, and it's something we focused on.
Now, you do not have Erica Valek. This is obviously the second straight game without it, but Kelly Camara running this offense. You guys look like you haven't lost a step.
All right. I don't know. Our guards are so interchangeable, and we've seen so much adversity. We get a punch, and we just keep rolling. So we're just going out to play hard as a team and play for each other.
Okay, and we'll see you on Monday night. Camille, thanks a lot. Robin, you take it away.
Keep in mind that before coming to the Final Four in this NCAA tournament, the average margin of victory for the Purdue Boilermakers just 7 points. Their average margin of victory, here they blow out Southwest Missouri State 17 points. Let's take a look at some of the numbers and how they did that. In every facet of the game, they simply dominated. And keep in mind, the Boilers were out-rebounded in 3 of the 4 tournament games in reaching the Final Four, but when it counted the most, they simply out-rebounded them, especially on the offensive boards. And we talked about now how to affect Jackie Stiles. Well, Purdue showed us how to do that.
Absolutely, Robin. They did several things defensively to stop Stiles.
Around the country, and you've done a wonderful job so far. Good luck with the rest of it. Thank you. It's been great.
As Danford was operating